The breakdown.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for those questions. On the question of capitation, the question of capitation, institutions uploading, we have for the first time were able to release capitation this time before the schools opened. And we've had the new system called Chemis coming into play, and we are training all our head teachers on how to utilize that particular system so that they do not have the similar problems they had with NEMIS. We are training their teachers, and we are training 3 champion teachers in each institution so that we have enough capacity of all our teachers to be able to input the data of the students on time for us to be able to release capitation to the schools on time. We have requested them to reach out to our institutions, to our headquarters, if there is a problem, and solutions are given to them. They get assistance from our IT teams so that that particular problem ceases to exist because it was predominant in the previous system. So what we are assuring you is that going forward, we are resolving that challenge of the capitation, and one of the ways that we did it was to do the verification exercise, which has now given us the exact numbers of the students we have in each grade. The exercise we did, we got numbers from each grade, we got how many female are there, how many male, how many special needs, so that going forward we don't have that problem of ghost learners, and I'm coming to answer that question when I answer Honorable Sabina's question. So capitation, we are handling it, and we are intending to ensure, not Sabina, I'm sorry. Senator Mutinda, Tabitha, yes, Tabitha Mutinda, sorry, I think somebody was on my mind. Now, on the question of the administrative independence of the JSS teachers, as I've indicated, junior school teachers are actually secondary school teachers, only domiciled in primary schools, and the curriculum is definitely secondary. It is true that there is a conflict in terms of the governance and in terms of administration. As a ministry and as TSC, and we've recognized that problem. And we have created scenarios. There's a paper, board paper that has been prepared with a number of scenarios on how do we resolve that conflict. One of the options that is being recommended, and if it goes through, then ensure that a policy comes, or a regulation comes, or a change of law comes, is that we would probably have a principal for JSS and a head of institution for primary. So we'll then work on the regulations and the policies that will ensure there is a smooth running of that section. So that paper has been done. It's going through the various stages, and once we reach a level where we require to be a policy or a regulation, we'll present it. We've recognized that problem and want to ensure that there's smooth running in our institutions. But before that, because we didn't have them, we had to retool and train the head teachers to be able to keep running the institutions so that we don't come to a halt. That's what we did. We came up with programs with Kemi and various governance training, because administration and governance cuts across, so that at least the institutions keep going. So that's where we are. As I said, it's going through the process that will bring it here. As I said, when we have a problem in this particular ministry, we face it. Where we need support, we come, we get that support, and we resolve it, because we are all want a system in education that works. On the question of Honorable Onyonka, with the issue relating to an audit of the teachers in this country, it is ongoing as we speak. One of the things that we discovered is that everybody who has a TSC number was looked at as an unemployed teacher. And Senator Nyutu is here. He's a teacher with a TSC number which he has never returned, but now he's looked at as an unemployed teacher. So when we give the data for the unemployment of teachers, we include him. So we have the wrong data. So that exercise is now being undertaken, and I think there was an advert by TSC for all the teachers with TSC numbers to go into the portal and indicate what they are doing currently, so that we can now have a proper data of all the teachers that are employed by TSC, all the teachers that are in private employment, and all the teachers who've since left that particular profession to do other things. So we will be able to avail that once the exercise is completed. Tana River, yes, I have not been able to come to Tana River, and actually I intend to do so, as you correctly predicted, and maybe we need to start with Hola Secondary School. So what I would suggest is the principal to write and request for some support, because that then becomes the basis upon which we can act. Then when we come, we'll come with something, and then we discuss the issues that are facing that particular area. It is an area that we need to do affirmative action on. I'm being advised that all the 106,201 teachers that have been employed in the last 3 years are all JSS teachers. 44,000 of them are interns, and 62,201 have been placed in permanent and pensionable terms. With respect to the question of Samburu and what the ministry is doing to ensure that the systematic inequality is addressed, what we are doing currently is using the data that we have, for example, of the transition of grade 9 to grade 10, to determine what support we need to do for the schools in the areas that are, quote unquote, the marginalized areas, one of which is the building of low-cost boarding schools, and we have NACONEC handling this, and of course through the school feeding programs, so that going forward we have schools in those areas that are capable of supporting a large number of students in one place where we have everything that is required for that school. For instance, we transitioned 18,000 students in the 3 northeastern counties, which averaged about 6,000 students per county, which means if we did 3 or 4 fully infrastructured schools in those areas, we can be able to support the students from there so that they are not disadvantaged. So that's what we are doing as a ministry, using the data that we are collecting in order for us to be able to determine which support to give in a manner that is sustainable and that is secure. Thank you.